Ma'am, you'll have to stay outside until the fireworks are done. Mom's orders.
I know, but can you keep a secret? My brother here, he's got, well, toilet trouble. You get me? It's very embarrassing. Best if me and his nurse take him to the John, pronto. Unless you want to mess right here on Marm's front steps. It takes Luca a couple of seconds to catch on, but he dutifully bites his lip and dances back and forth from foot to foot, as if suffering some grim gastrointestinal distress.
No, I mean, okay, fine. Just be quick.
As we swoop inside past the guard, I hear Cress barely restrain a chuckle, and Luca huffing like an affronted bull. We're in. The cavernous casino interior feels wrong somehow, without the usual bodies and noise. This warm, beckoning sanctuary of sin, now a chilly mausoleum of gold and greed.
I'm off to the boiler room. Wish me luck.
I would, but you don't need it. Do your job slow and smooth. You've got the skills, so use it.
You sweet talker. Are you after Apollo's job? I'll get it done. Be safe, you guys.
Right. Don't look down. I double-check our route to the vault on Klossner's blueprints. His drawings are meticulous, accurate down to the inch. I guide us like a bloodhound tugging at the leash through the employees-only area. Mar Magdalene's vault is a titanic monument to money grubbing, gilded with Rococo garnish, boldly advertising her bottomless appetite for coin. I half expect to find a fat old dragon snoring on the other side of the massive door, but the only dragon I know is outside watching the fireworks with her hired help.
This place gives me the willies. Kind of feels like we're being watched.
I know what you mean. It feels like we're intruding on holy ground or something.
More like unholy ground. You got that combo?
I've got it. Here goes nothing. If the vault's meant to be distracting, it works. Because we don't hear the patrolling guard's footsteps on the cold marble until he's right behind us.
Hey, what are you doing? Get away from there.
I nod at Luca. He steps up to the guard like he owns the place.
Head or gut?
What?
Okay? Head and gut.
Luca moves in a blur. His fist smashes into the guard's midsection, doubling him over, mewling. The follow-up is a thing of beauty, as Luca serves the guard a picture-perfect uppercut to the chin. The guard spins like a top as he descends to the floor. He's already snoring as we step around him. Luca shakes his bruised knuckles with a nonchalant air.
One down, 100 to go.
I return my attention to the vault dial. I breathe deeply to stop my fingers from trembling. With something like reverence, I twist the dial to the number Sophie provided, hearing a satisfying clunk inside the door as its mechanisms pop free. There's so much left, even with the majority of the cash hauled away by Luca's people. Surely nobody will mind if I take a little pocket-sized souvenir for myself. There's so much still left, even with the majority of the cash hauled away by Luca's people. Surely no... There's so much still left, even with the majority of the In the burrows, fallen trash gathers into hills of scrap bigger than sand dunes. Even those miniature mountains are dwarfed by the glittering piles of treasure inside Marm's vault. I lick my lips unconsciously as I start to salivate. There's enough cash, hawk jewels, and fine art in this room to buy the old governor's mansion. Hell, there's enough to buy the old governor. I think about what it would be like to roll around in it. I have the crazy notion that Marm comes down here to do just that.
Bingo!
Within minutes, Luca's workers flood through the entrance where the loot is normally deposited. His people work quickly, hauling the vault's sparkling riches out in sacks and wheelbarrows. I watch in dumb fascination as they enter and depart the loading bay in ordered lines, like ants carrying supplies back to the colony. I know I'm the lookout, but I'm too caught up in the moment. We're really doing this. As the last of Luca's laborers disappear with Marm's ill-gotten gains, a sudden blaring klaxon jolts me out of my gleeful reverie. Luca looks to me in dismay.
Damn, the jig's up!
Calm down, big fella. It's just the fire alarm. Means Cress is doing her job. I'll be back in a second. I lope down a few corridors away from the vault, watching as security scrambles around in panic confusion. I overhear words like fire and boiler, along with a few choice phrases too crude to repeat. Cress emerges, moving swiftly through the commotion. I shoot her an appreciative grin, but she looks concerned. We hightail it back towards the vault together, rejoining Luca. What's the problem?
What a time. Security showed up at the loading bay, and they're asking a lot of questions and not liking the answers. Plus, the boiler is set to blow any minute now.
Damn it! Gia, those are my people. I won't leave them in the lurch.
Doesn't matter, we can't get out that way. There's gotta be another exit.
I'll find us a way out. In the freshly echoing emptiness of Marm's vault, I spread out Klossner's blueprints, desperate to find a route I've overlooked. No time for mistakes. Gotta make the call. The blueprints are detailed and clear, and I see multiple viable paths. I make a silent promise to plan a wet one on that creep Klossner if I ever see him again. 3 options. We can take the service way out through the lower level, past the boiler room. We can stick to the main corridors and head straight for the staff exit, or we can duck into this VIP lounge, which has a private exit.
That's a gamble, miss, and I don't gamble with my people. They're expecting us at the loading bay. What if they wait too long?
Come on, big fella. We're in a casino. Your people know the right moves. We'll catch up with them later, I'm sure of it. I'm not sure of it, but what else can I say? Let's go. We dash headlong through the corridors, buffeted by the wailing fire alarm and the shouts of the guards. The warbling tone of a PA system crackles to life, and Marm's furious edict blares out like the voice of God.
Attention, security personnel! There is a theft in progress. Apprehend these villains immediately, dead or alive. The squad that brings their men their stolen property in will receive a sizable pay raise.
We wind through the main corridors connecting the different sections of Pandemonium, like blood racing to escape a wound. In our haste, we nearly sideswipe a troop of guards running crosswise to us. I describe what happens next like ballet in its grace and power, but I don't think Swan Lake has quite so many mooks getting their teeth kicked in. It's almost fun.
I think you broke that guy's jaw.
That's why they call me Left Hook.
There's nobody to applaud us as we reach the ferocious finale, but that's just as well. I never liked applause. Luca tosses me a leer, and Cress bares her teeth with the joy of victory. I know how they feel. Cress, what happened to the boiler? Isn't it supposed to explode?
She still might. Let's hustle.
You don't have to tell us twice, sister.
We hit the road and catch up with Luca's workers as the shuddering whine of Aether engines roars behind us. Figures. The does aren't about to let us get away that easy.
Damn it! Lost some good people back there. I won't lose any more.
You're finished! You scummy little worms! Get back here!
Naughty little thieves! Off with their heads!
Alice, Lizzie, and Pearl rev up behind us. Marm's little trinity of terror. Figures she'd send her best. Let's hope we can take all three at once.
Check it out, Gia. It's the folks we helped earlier. They came back to drive our haulers for us. Guess you must have inspired them, boss.
I'll take all the help I can get. It won't be easy keeping these trucks on the road. My eyes fix on Pearl behind the wheel of her coupe, still as a cobra, gearing up for its strike. I've seen what her sisters can do. She's gotta be on another level entirely.
You should have called me earlier, sisters. I would never have let it get this far. Do you hear me, smuggler? It is time to make your peace.
I was holding back when we met. Not anymore. You won't get away this time.
Can't take much more.
Retreat, Cress. I'll take it from here. One by one, the does peel off. We've lost them.
Is it just me, or was that...
Too easy? Yeah, something's not right.
Don't question it, Gia. We've got the treasure in hand. Lead the way, boss.
Free and clear, the night air on my face. I give myself over to the rush of the road and the sweet relief of victory. Luca and Cress's cheers fill my ears, until they cut short, and we spot the roadblock up ahead. It's Marm. Let's get this over with. Our rides glide to a halt, blaring headlights filling our windshields. We step out into the... windy freeway, facing Marm and her phalanx of armed does. The wrinkled visage of the Mother of Vice is lined with contempt.
I'm impressed.
Nothing but the best for the Baron on her big day.
Amusing. But this charade ends now.
Looks like the boiler never went boom, because the flashing lights of Dreamland's firefighting squads are already on the scene. Marm favors us with a smug smile, and her does look at us with predatory craving.
I've been suspicious of a traitor in my house for months. This all but confirms it.
How's that? Maybe we're just expert thieves.
Hardly. I caught you in the act. And what's more, all I have to do is check which combination was used on the vault, and I'll know who betrayed me.
The does shoot each other nervous, suspicious looks. They're attack dogs on the leash, ready to lash out, but they're no longer sure which way to direct their bite.
However, if any of my faithful daughters would like to turn themselves in right now, I promise to show you leniency. What's it to be, Mädchen? Shall I head back to my casino? Or shall we resolve this here and now?
Mom, I swear it wasn't me! You gotta believe me! I'd never betray you!
Really? You only care about yourself.
That's rich. Coming from you.
Oof! Says the scheming psycho!
Enough!
All present watch in stunned amazement as the barrel of Sophie's gun turns away from me and points straight at Marm's heart.
Sophia! Haitian! I never would have suspected.
That's exactly the problem, Marm. You've become blind. You're so focused on expanding your empire, you missed what was happening right in front of you.
Sophie, you snake! How could you? After everything she did for us!
For us? What about to us? What has she ever given that she hasn't taken away tenfold from the city? From its everyday people? From innocent little girls with nowhere else to turn?
I glance at Winnie, disturbed to see her youthful features frozen in a shell-shocked, thousand-yard stare. No longer afraid, but no longer really present at all.
So, what next, dear? You'll kill me and take my place? Is that the plan?
No, Marm. Despite everything, I love you. And I don't want your barony. But this has to stop. I knew you didn't have the backbone. Listen to me. It doesn't have to be this way. We can change things in Dreamland. Together, as sisters.
This is Sophie's moment. I would sooner bare my neck to Marm than take it away from her. I nod, and she continues.
Look, Dreamland is already yours. You already run its streets, its nightlife, its storefronts. If Marm retires from managing the operation, she can keep living comfortably while you keep doing what you do best. If she's too proud to let go, then we'll find her somewhere else to live. But one way or the other, Marm has to step back. You all know Gia. Like it or not, she's one of my sisters now. And she could be yours too. I think we have more in common with her than not. Give us your support. Let's make this real.
And I'll just sit back, will I? And watch as you take everything?
You can't stop us. You can only be stopped. Your hoard is taken. The casino's in ruins. You can never recover what you lost. It's time to move on. The circumstances of your retirement are up to you.
Fine. You want to parley? I suppose I owe you that much.
Sophie joins her Baron for a private negotiation. I'm left staring at the does, who seem carved from stone, still reeling from the shock of Sophie's betrayal, and unsure what to do. Lizzie's arms are crossed in a childish pout. She curls her lip as I catch her attention.
You. Haven't you done enough? Scram, why don't you?
Not here for a fight. You think Sophie might have the right idea?
Look, I know I ain't the smartest, okay? Sophie, she's the sharp one. She always knows what to do. But Marm, I'd be in the gutter without her. You get me? Nowhere. Nothing.
I get you. I grew up in the burrows. Without my Zio, I'd be nowhere too. We don't get to choose our family, but we can choose what we take with us. We can choose who we want to be. She sniffs, uncomfortable with the frankness of the conversation. Her silence says everything she won't. Just think it over, Lizzie. Nobody to remind you to stick to orders you know are wrong. Nobody to chide you in front of your sisters, and knowing there's no room for argument.
What are you getting at?
You'd even have an equal voice at the table. Even if Sophie ends up calling the shots, can you really see her doing it without consulting you girls?
I gotta think about this.
Hook, line, and sinker. Lizzie is on board for sure.
Fine. Fine, all right. Whatever.
My heart lurches to see Winnie's sweetness has been smothered. She's listless and hollow, swaddled in her doe uniform like a straitjacket. Is Jenna better off, wherever she is? Winnie, you don't have to make a decision if you don't want to, but I know your approval would make Sophie very happy. Winnie looks up at me. Her expression is a jumble of conflicting emotions. I shouldn't press her any further. Alice's perpetually bouncing curls seem unnaturally still as she stares into the middle distance. She regards me smugly as I approach.
I suppose you're going to convince me to betray Marm?
I get the feeling that if Sophie hadn't made her move today, someone else would have stepped up. And maybe not a doe. What do you think?
I think she's a conniving little serpent. But I'm not an idiot, you know. I can see the writing on the wall.
Then you know she's right.
I know plenty, thank you very much. Most of which Marm taught me.
I haven't forgotten, you know. Your secret.
I didn't forget either, you hussy.
You don't get it. You don't have to be that Alice anymore. Everything you want is right in front of you now. All you need to do is join your sisters and be a part of something bigger than Marm's whims. I'm more than a little surprised at how long Alice chews it over. Finally, grudgingly, she nods.
You do talk sense. All right then, count me in. But just to be clear, we're never going to be friends. You and I.
I can live with that. Pearl's impassive face is tight with fury. Who it's pointed at, whether it's Sophie or Marm or me or the whole sweet world, is anyone's guess. Pearl, I know you're not stupid. You can see Sophie's right, can't you?
What I see is a pathetic ingrate, hungry for power that isn't hers. And in you, I see a lost child, puffing out her chest to disguise her fear.
I think that's the longest sentence I've heard you speak. Glad we're finally getting to know one another.
You don't know anything.
You don't scare me, but I know what scares you. Powerlessness. And that's all you'll have if you side with Marm. I imagine the whirring of complex mechanisms behind her eyes, arcane instruments of torture spinning up like medieval engines of pain. She reaches a decision and favors me with a single word in reply.
Fine.
Sophie and Marm finish their tete-a-tete and rejoin us. Sophie's gun is still aimed at her matriarch, but the Baron holds her chin high.
Lizzie, Alice, Pearl, you won't regret this. Thank you for your trust.
This is ridiculous.
Gia, this never would have happened without your help. Help me decide. I don't want Dreamland to become another White Street, fractured and plagued with infighting.
I feel all eyes turn to me, but the two that weigh the heaviest are Sophie and Luca. It's not just Dreamland's future we're talking about. Soph, this is your call. I can't make it for you.
I'm not asking you to, darling. I'm just asking you to tell me what I already know.
But this isn't my world.
That's exactly why your opinion means so much. Dreamland's been my entire life. I'm too wrapped up in it. You, though, you see it with clear eyes. You have the detachment of the outsider. I need that.
Behind the con artist, behind the street soldier, behind the double agent, behind everything Sophie's made herself, I catch a glimpse of the girl who never quite disappeared, whose light remained bright underneath. Well, all right then. Let the old lady live out her years in peace. She can still gamble and socialize, but it's time the younger generation took control.
You'd make me a prisoner in my own barony? No! I won't stand for this humiliation.
Not a prisoner, Marm. Not ever. But our honored guest. Our Queen Dowager. The architect of the dream, who has passed it on to her inheritors.
I suppose I have no choice.
Happy birthday, Marm.
I should never have raised you up. You didn't deserve it. You never deserved that, any of you. I should have smothered you in your sleep.
Marm swings a brittle fist at Sophie, whose sad, patient defense wears out the old lady's rage until she's deflated like an empty balloon. A single tear marches down the craggy landscape of her wrinkled cheek. Sophie clicks Marm into a pair of handcuffs and guides her gently to the back seat of her car. The does disperse wordlessly. There's an odd quiet in the air. Is winning supposed to feel like this?
Gia, I'll see you at Spritzenhaus.
Right. My ears ring in the silence, still loud even though they're blessedly free of alarms and shouting and gunfire. For now, anyways. Luke is unloading our ill-gotten haul. He hefts the last crate, giving the truck a firm slap on the metal bed to signal the driver to leave. He carries it like it weighs nothing, but I feel the impact in my soles as he drops it on the ground between us.
We did it, Gia. Here, Killmeyer's payment and then some. Don't you let him talk you into handing this all over to him. You deserve some of that.
The boisterous beer hall is quiet as a chapel in the daylight. By the contented look on his expansive face, Killmeyer's recovered well from the shock of having his island swallowed whole. I'm pleased to notice, however, a slightly more chastened volume to his voice. The bartender here at Spritzen House serves up more than...
In the old country.
Show me what you've got.
Keep your whistle wet and...
Aha! The daring thieves return victorious. I knew you could do it.
We have to offload this stuff pronto. You got somewhere to put all this?
Not to worry. Those kegs behind me are quite empty. Perfect for hiding things I don't want others to find. Please, sit. Make yourself comfortable. Have you seen the news?
Just like you planned it, Sophie.
Yes, it seems Mom has been properly cowed, but enough of that. Let us look to the future. Care to join me for a snifter?
Not on your life, Killmeyer. Where's my Aether core?
Close at hand, Liebling. Close at hand. Now, about my price.
We worked hard to get this. It's only right we get a taste before you get the lion's share, wouldn't you say?
No, I would not. We stick to the deal, Teufelsfrau, or you will never see your precious Aether core.
Show me that Aether core and let's get this done.
Certainly, certainly. You know, you are even lovelier when you are impatient.
Please, I just ate.
I mask my surprise at the small device wrapped in cloth stained with what I imagine was the previous owner. A faint hum escapes the polished metal and tickles my palms. Lucas' people are waiting outside. Coordinate with them.
Wunderbar! Congratulations on the deal well struck. I shall go attend to things. Please, make yourselves at home. From now on, for you and your friends, drinks are on the house.
Thanks.
My people could use a round too. Robbing a casino is thirsty work. Of course, delighted. But only one round. Do you hear me? Loud and clear.
Well, gang, we did it.
I don't know about you ladies, but I could use a drink.
Luca, it's 10 in the morning.
And? What are you, my mother?
Well, I've got some time, and I'm feeling quite lucky. I've got a deck of cards that need breaking in anyway. Giovanna?
Luca fetches us some steins and a bowl of peanuts, while Sophie breaks a pack and deals. I sit, admiring their ability to jump back into such normal, everyday pursuits after such a harrowing adventure. The leftover shakes from the day's events have finally subsided. We've pulled off the crime of the decade, deposed a tyrant, bargained with the devil, and come out the other side.
I haven't had the time until now, but thank you all. You don't know what the past few days have meant to me.
Sure I do. You're not the only one with skeletons in the closet, Sophie. Why do you think I stuck out my neck for you?
Thank you for having my back at the roadblock, darling. And all along the way, too.
Don't mention it.
Well, come on then. Tell me what I missed. I want all the juicy details.
Well, I'll say this much. My casino robbing days are done. The stress plays hell with my complexion.
What are you talking about? You look great.
Cress barely stifles an involuntary yelp of mirth. Sophie dazzles the room with a wide and saucy smile. Luca holds up his hands in baffled surrender.
What? She does? What did I say?
Thanks, Luca. We got through by the skin of our teeth is all. I'm just glad it wasn't worse.
Me too.
The hand finishes, and Sophie reshuffles in silence, dealing out wry looks with every new card. Drinks and smiles flow easily. The mood settles comfortably, like a dog snuggling into its bed.
So what happens now? I'm in it for the long haul. Underground's not going anywhere, so neither am I. How about you, Sophie? Luca?
I know you've got a lot on your plate, Soph, but I'd like it if you stuck it out with us, now that Marm's been dealt with. What do you say?
By now, my sisters will have Marm set up in a charming cottage on a private island belonging to a very good friend of hers, who is privately relieved to have Marm under wraps.
Some friend.
Believe me, if you were friends with a Black Widow like Marm, you'd like to keep her where you can see her too. She'll be comfortable enough and will want for nothing.
You think that'll hold her?
Well, we are her daughters after all. I'm sure she always expected something like this. Maybe not this soon, but...
Marm always did make her own rules.
That she did. But to answer your question, Giovanna, yes. I believe I will help you in your crusade. Because even though I am a criminal, I am also a pragmatist. Dreamland will be just that. A dream, if we don't save it.
I was kind of hoping you'd say that.
Sophie Sulzer, heir to Mom Weiss, a savior. Maybe Dom hit me harder than I thought. I must be in a coma.
Luca, we could really use your help. The well affects everyone in the lowers.
Sure does. You know I'm in Gia. My people need somewhere to stand and sleep if they're gonna live after all. Hard to do when the docks are spinning around in a hurricane from hell.
Glad you're sticking with us. What about after we take care of the well? Are you gonna stick with the underground?
You know, for as long as I can remember since, Marco, I felt like I was cursed to hang around and take care of the docks because I had to. For maybe the first time, I'm looking forward to it.
Your people respect you, Luca, because you do right by them. If you can show them how much you really care, it'll be different. Better. The underground can help too.
I'm sure we'll never see eye to eye, Luca. But you do have my respect. I might square off in the ring with you now and again, but I think we can work together when we have to.
We made a real noise here today, big fella. We might have changed the whole city with what we did here today. Why limit yourself?
What do you mean?
It's a big world. Men of passion and conviction who won't be corrupted. Guys like that are worth their weight in gold. Imagine what you could do for all the chapters out there.
You've got a point. Hell, Diane would probably like to see more of the world. It's worth thinking about at least.
That's the spirit. When Luca refills my glass from our shared pitcher, I raise it toward the center of the table between us. Everyone looks to me. To victory, and whatever comes next. Cress brings her glass level with mine, her eyes shining cobalt above her smile.
To new friends and clobbered enemies.
Luca's glass enters the circle next, as a sincere warmth adds fresh color to his ruddy, rough-hewn face.
To the people of Dreamland, every one of them.
Finally, Sophie's glass completes the set, as she regards Cress and me with a strange look. If I didn't know any better, I'd say it was affectionate.
To my sisters. Old and new.
In response to Luca's raised eyebrow, Sophie rolls her eyes.
And brothers, I suppose.
As my Zio would say, Cent'anni. Our glasses join in a jangle of hearty clinks, and the rest of the day flits by in a blur of relieved and tired laughter.
Well, well.
I found some things that are more...
And pray tell.
What can you offer me?
I already have someone in mind.
What can you offer me?
You don't come across something like this without getting your hand. Don't be a stranger.
How can I help?
How's Daisy coming along?
Oh, Gia! Come here! Come here! You have to see this.
The kid leads me to the device. I've seen Heights Tech in promo reels, but they always felt too fantastical to be real. In the face of the glowing blue tower, I'm forced to reevaluate my worldview.
Professor Gardner and I installed the Aether core as soon as we could. We've started tests to simulate Daisy's effects on the well, and the results so far align with our hypotheses. It's surprisingly simple. The well has an enormous gravitational force. Meanwhile, Daisy produces an opposing force, causing the particles to diffuse. This will weaken the well, causing it to shrink. Well, what do you think?
It's amazing, Principessa. You really did it. I leave her beaming brighter than all the gizmos in her lab, leaving me wondering if that's how I ever looked when Zio told me good job.
Bye for now.
Gia, both hands on the wheel.
We arrive back at the hole in the late evening. All I want to do is slope off to a bunk and slide into oblivion for a few hours. But Apollo and Sam want a debrief. It takes a few pots of coffee and some encouragement, but I recount the night's events as best I can. By the time I'm finished, rays of sunlight illuminate the room. Apollo leans forward in his seat while Sam leans back. Both are equally interested in the fate of their old enemy, but Apollo is eager, while Sam seems almost sad. Given the alternatives, we thought it was best for Marm to stay close, where Sophie can keep an eye on her.
See what I mean, Apollo? A good head on this one. Take Marm out, and she's a martyr. Pulling her teeth does two things. It shows our strength, and that we're different from her.
After everything that woman's done, living in a gilded cage is far too good for her. And in the old seat of her power, no less. What's to stop her from seizing control again?
With the Does in charge, we're not likely to see another White Street. Sophie knows better than us how the wind is blowing in Dreamland.
Well, I don't like leaving that canny old witch in a position where she might rise up again, but you've got a point. Let's hope it wasn't a mistake.
I'm angry too, Apollo, but I'm with Sam here. We have people who are hurting. We play the long game, we minimize the damage.
Now why does it sound so much more palatable when it comes from you? Such a charmer.
Apollo, you've been giving Luca the evil eye ever since we got back. What gives?
Time to put the tiger on the table, eh? Very well. We've got a few questions about him.
Such as?
How committed to the cause is he, really?
He's aces in my book. A good man and a good ally. Don't tell me you suspect him of something underhanded. It's not in his nature.
I just don't want him leaving us in the lurch when his ledgemen call his name.
Gia, you have to understand. Joining the underground is serious business. It's a sacrifice. It means being part of something bigger than yourself and your people.
Luca's an unknown, and we have no room for doubt. I simply don't trust him, darling.
Luca's back is against the wall on this one. If the well isn't closed, Dreamland is heading straight into it. His #1 priority is his people, and his people are in Dreamland.
Darling, I've had spa days longer than you've known Luca. Once he decides Dreamland is out of danger, then what? Luca's an unknown, and we have no room for doubt.
If I were you, Hollywood, I'd start thinking a little less about what he can do for you, and think about what you can do for him.
Really? Why should I stick my neck out on the chopping block for a plug like him?
Between the two of them, Sophie and Luca are in a position to make things harder or easier for the underground. If you try and shut Luca out, you're shooting yourself in the foot.
Maybe spread around a little of that movie star charm instead, eh, Apollo?
Okay, point taken. We'll let him in, but he's your responsibility. Got that?
That covers the broad strokes. Let's move on. Nellie, how does the Aether core look? I wouldn't put it past Kilmeyer to try and swindle us.
Professor Gardner and I have inspected it thoroughly. It's the genuine article, all right. We still need to install and test it, but it should work just fine according to our specifications.
Atta girl. One less power-mad Baron to worry about, and our well solutions well in hand. Get cracking, Doctor. What's next, Sam?
Gia, you've, interacted with a certain Mr. Blanc. We've contracted him to look into the Black Hat after Nellie. He's ready for a meet.
I've worked for him before, sure. I wouldn't say I trust him, but he pays on time and in full. That puts him head and shoulders above most in my racket.
Well, he's insisting on no radio, no courier, and an in-person meet. If he wants things this private, let's hope his info is pure dynamite.
I'm surprised Blanc agreed to meet. He's not the revolutionary type.
Sure, he's worked for the other team before, but he's discreet, has plenty of reach, and I'm told he stays bought. You hear what happened with Montclair?
The Prince of New York? Claimed to be some kind of old country blue blood, right? Ended badly, if I recall.
Right. Mr. Blanc dug up proof that his bona fides were anything but. Stopped him taking over in the lowers, and gave us the leverage to check the uppers barons who'd done business with him.
Knowing Blanc, I'm sure he came away from that deal with a few extra simoleons, too.
Oh, no doubt he kept the choicest bits of blackmail to himself just to feather his own nest. That's what I'd do.
All right. I'll head to the meet and keep my eyes open. Who knows? Might be nice for me to lead the conversation for once. Besides, I deserve answers about that group Dufresne is working for. I had to let him go back at Coney, which left me with a lot of unanswered questions.
Oh, please make sure to say hello to Mr. Blanc for me. I'm so grateful for his help getting me here.
No problem, sweetheart. If I don't remember, I'm sure Gia will.
Hold on there, Apollo. You're not planning on going to the meet yourself, are you?
Why not? I know the uppers better than anyone here. If anyone can get in to see Mr. Blanc without getting pinched, it's yours truly.
Your famous face might give you away. Let Giovanna and I take care of it.
Look who's talking. You might not be a movie star, but the Rat King is just as well known in the papers as I am. Or don't you think the infamous Iron Hand meeting with an underworld figure will grab headlines?
Apollo, you're up.
I reluctantly accept this grave duty.
Cute, but this isn't awards night. If you're pinched, it'd be a big setback for the underground. Be careful out there.
Just a quick rendezvous with our mysterious contact, old boy. Right out of a Giles picture, am I right?
Don't make me regret this.
Excellent! By the time you two return, we should have the device in good working order. I can't wait to tell the professor.
Hello, Gia. All right.
Make it snappy, would you? Till next time.
Gia. See ya.
Giovanna?
Marm might have been the one at the top, but you were the Doe's leader. You think Dreamland can handle itself without you?
Surprisingly, yes. As far as Dreamland knows, Marm graciously retired, entrusting the barony to her beloved daughters. Business continues, Expansion is on hold, and the tables keep running.
A happy ending.
Oh, it'll be some time before that. Marm still needs minding, and the does have new responsibilities. It'll take some getting used to, even under the best circumstances. In the meantime, I've instructed my people to focus on recovery. Make donations, seed territory, monitor the does, and ensure Winnie is cared for.
A lot happened in Dreamland. How are you holding up?
Couldn't be better, considering the circumstances.
No regrets over leaving Dreamland to fend for itself?
We does are used to running our own territory, and my people know how to run the ship. Honestly, being out here is doing me a favor. It saves me from all the planning and public relations and arguments. Take care.
The uppers are another world only vaguely resembling the one I know. The gutters are empty of garbage, the walls free of graffiti. My stomach does a flip-flop. I'm a square peg in a landscape of round holes here.
Don't let the clean streets and pristine buildings fool you. The physical foundations are as good as money can buy, but the moral ones, I wouldn't trust my weight to them.
At least you can actually taste the air in the uppers.
The standard of living in the lowers is determined by whom it benefits most. And those people are living here, not down there.
I check my watch. We should head to the glass cage now. Mr. Blanc won't stick around to wait for us if we're late. I don't know if it's something I pick up in a mirror or the corner of my eye, but I feel a familiar itch between my shoulders. I check, and sure enough, we have a tail on us. Better move. Fast. We're being followed. Keep an eye on the mirror. I'm going to try and lose them in traffic.
Got it. Make your move, sweetheart.
Starting with a casual lane change, I follow it up with a swerve back into the thick of traffic and across to the opposite end, zipping in and out, accelerating past the crush I'm helping to exacerbate. Hang on. I pull every trick out of the book to lose our tail, weaving in and out of cars, trucks, and street features. I drive like I'm possessed, a grin plastered on my face. It's all so easy. I lose our tail with no trouble. I still feel like we're being watched. Know anyone who would have you followed?
I don't see any flash bulbs, so we can rule out the press. I think this is underground business, darling.
Probably just nerves. The coast looks clear for now. Let's get to the glass cage. Suddenly, a burst of static blares over the radio. I wasn't expecting a call. The even, measured tones of Mr. Blanc's voice are punctuated with hisses of white noise.
Bravo, Silver, the Celtic Flame.
It's an old piece of bootlegging code. Security has been breached and the opposition is armed. He's called out Hugh Street as the new rendezvous. Acknowledged. There is another burst of static and the voice is gone. I pull a quick U-turn and start heading toward Hugh Street. Looks like a change of venue.
I don't like this. You spot a tail, and just a moment later, our contact changes our meeting spot.
What are you getting at?
I'm saying that if it looks like a trap and smells like a trap, it's probably a trap, darling. Even that old bore Shakespeare knew it.
A cold feeling burns in my gut, like a shot of raw bathtub gin. I can't fathom what would make Blanc abandon his plans this way. Whatever his reason, it's serious business. Shadows envelop the meeting spot on Hugh Street. A narrow afterthought of an alley leads into a sort of postage stamp courtyard. Only each wall is the looming cold edifice of a modern building. The buildings here cast deep shadows like bottomless pits. My mouth feels sticky and sour. Tastes like dread. I get out of the car. I grip my gun in my pocket like the hand of a childhood crush. It's so quiet out here, my heartbeat is crashing jazz cymbals in my eardrums.
I don't see him. He must have run into trouble.
Try to relax a little, huh? We're early. He's the punctual type. Despite my casual tone, I can't settle down. We must have been here an hour already. I checked my watch. It's been barely 5 minutes. When Mr. Blanc suddenly speaks from the shadows, Apollo jolts and quick draws his pistol. My hair is standing on end. The familiar red ember glows from the black shadows of the alleyway.
Relax, Mr. Diamond. Put away the gun, and let's talk.
Nothing but darkness within. I guess nobody's paying for overtime tonight. The uppers are different at night. All of that pristine concrete and glass, so shiny and bright in the day, looms like jail cell walls after lights out. The open, starry sky somehow still feels too low, too close. I'm trapped.
That's close enough, Randazzo.
Ah, been a while, old sport. I see you're still playing Mr. Mysterious.
We all have our roles to play.
Beyond the corona of cigarette smoke, I can make out even less of Mr. Blanc's mug than usual. Something's not right here.
That's close enough, Randazzo.
Ah,
but we all...
Beyond the corona... This was a desperation play. He chose it knowing that whoever is after him wouldn't expect him to pick this place. Too many windows, too many places for hidden eyes. A weak ploy. The glass cage was compromised, wasn't it? Someone was waiting for you. You're giving us your findings because you're trying to get out.
Astute, Randazzo.
With painful slowness, I edge closer. The man likes his anonymity, but curiosity moves my feet before I can stop them. The tip of his cigarette flares with light as he takes a long draw. Despite his businesslike tone, his hand is shaking slightly with the effort. His skin looks pale. Is he sweating? You are hurt.
Not another step, Randazzo.
Until today, I would have described Blanc as flawless, if cold. A consummate professional, always in control. Tonight, the cracks are showing, and they're showing that things are wrong. Deeply wrong.
I have the information you paid for.
Spit it out, man. I don't like this place you've chosen.
There is not a safe place in New York. I will be leaving soon. I'd recommend the same for you all.
Are you serious? What about your network? What about the glass cage?
My enterprises are not your concern.
The ember of Blanc's cigarette shakes in his hands. He takes a long, hungry drag. All the more reason for you to cough up the information and get under cover.
Very well. My investigations have led me to a group called the Trust. It is an organization that has existed as long as the field of Aether development. They have more resources than all of the baronies combined. They wield immeasurable influence, fantastic wealth, and they hold sway over each and every baron in New York. They have stayed secret thus far by suborning, bribing, or killing any who have dared to challenge them.
That sounds ridiculous. Are you putting me on? As soon as the words escape my mouth, I know he's dead serious. But it's too ludicrous to fathom. I can't seem to fully catch my breath.
Ignore them at your peril. It would appear you have stepped into the deep end without realizing it, Randazzo. And you've dragged the rest of us along with you.
Okay. Let's say that there really is a shadowy organization secretly pulling the strings in the city. Sounds far-fetched to me. What's their purpose?
Just as in every other period in human history, those who already hold wealth and influence often wish to keep it to themselves. All in the name of the greater good, naturally.
And enriching their pet politicians and scientists, no doubt.
The smallest fraction of their holdings would sate the avarice of any public servant or investigator.
If these people are so all-knowing and all-powerful, why bother with Nellie? They could just discredit her, ruin her rep.
I provide information, not conjecture. They are simply opposed to Reinhardt's presence here.
If they're so powerful, why haven't they succeeded yet?
Perhaps you're the wrench in their works, Randazzo.
Are the Trust the ones responsible for spreading red Aether technology? The rally in White Street looms, the carbonized stink of human ashes filling my nostrils. My gut lurches as I watch Killmeyer's Island crash into dreamland. I shiver involuntarily. This is madness.
That's insane. Evil. All those deaths for what?
For power, for control, for short-term gain. Who knows what drives the minds of the Barons? Each has their own strength and their own weakness.
I knew it. I need to have a word with Jono about who offered him those guns. It's a cinch they wanted us to help up the stakes.
The pieces all fit, but it still sounds so far-fetched.
Those vultures, those villains. We still need to see your proof, Blanc, but damn me if it doesn't ring true. How else could all of this happen so quickly?
I have proof, yes. Circumstances beyond my control brought me here before I had time to collect it.
Circumstances beyond your control? We're sticking our necks out here. Do we look like suckers to you?
We're professionals, and we've worked with Mr. Blanc here before. If the goods aren't here, we just have to go get them, right?
Just so, Randazzo.
Mr. Blanc reaches into his breast pocket slowly. His motion hitches, and despite his iron demeanor, he can't help but grimace in pain.
The proof. It is in my office. I will let...
Crack of thunder. The ember falls from Mr. Blanc's lips. The shot takes him off his feet, and he hits the wall, shoulder painting a streak behind him. Something metallic drops from his hand and clanks to the ground. Mr. Blanc! Mustering what must be the last of his strength, Mr. Blanc pushes off the wall and staggers around the corner, out of sight. More shots. A scream. The world gone slow suddenly comes alive full speed again. My companions and I surrounded by the whip-crack of bullets, hitting the pavement all around us. Get to the car! As if through a wad of thick cotton, I can hear my people yelling at me, but I stoop to grab what was dropped. It's a heavy brass key. I clutch the key like a talisman and throw myself to the ground, presenting as small a target as possible. Miraculously, none of the shots hit me, but it's only a matter of time.
Gia, get in!
I hurl myself headlong into the open door, the car's armor offering me a temporary haven as bullets spang off the chassis. The cordite-ridden air is sweet in my starved lungs, shuddering breath after shuddering breath. The driver floors it, but I scramble behind the wheel. Now's not the time for politeness.
Keep driving until I tell you to turn.
You know this place?
Had a fan who, enjoyed my company. Turn, now!
This is it. We need to lose or blast our pursuers before their reinforcements can show up on the scene.
We're in for it. They're gaining on us.
Don't lose your head. Let's outmaneuver them. I can hear more of their souped-up cars in the distance, racing towards us. We're out of time. They've got reinforcements coming, Apollo. Where's that exit?
Now! Turn now!
Apollo guides me through off-path alleyways and back roads, past checkpoints that would normally stop me cold, massaging their suspicion with his movie star looks and palaver. The key in my pocket feels incredibly heavy. I'm still thinking about it when the sounds of pursuit fade away into silent night.
Well, this is just beautiful, isn't it? Our informant's dead, a secret organization has us on its hit list, and what do we have to show for it? Bubkiss, that's what.
We're not sunk just yet. I'm guessing this unlocks something in Mr. Blanc's office at the glass cage.
It's a risk, but it's our only option. Maybe we can beat them to it.
We have to watch our step as we enter what was once one of the ritziest hotspots in the uppers. Wind whistles through the shattered glass floor. Glass crunches under every footfall. This place was stripped. Whoever did this wanted to find Mr. Blanc's secrets, but the anger they left behind is evident. My heart lurches with hope. Did they do this out of frustration? Maybe they didn't find what they were after. If they'd found what they were looking for, they wouldn't have used a wrecking ball on the place. Spread out. Make it quick.
Blanc's office is probably hidden somewhere around here. Let's hope we can find it.
We need to hurry. They probably left someone to stake the place out, which means they'll be coming in as soon as they report in for backup. A spiderweb of widening cracks lead to an enormous hole smashed in the floor. Oddly fitting for a lair built on secrets, though I doubt Mr. Blanc would appreciate the parallel. The bar is a complete loss. I've seen this place weather brawls, gunfights, and even a fallen chandelier, but it's beyond repair now. It's been completely stripped, every panel smashed open. This is a dead end. The wall behind the bar is riddled with buckshot. A series of shotgun blasts tore through the expensive bottles like tissue paper. I hope Morgan wasn't working tonight. I've been in front of this bar enough times that seeing it ransacked freezes my veins. Maybe there's something of value left in all that wreckage, but it does feel like grave robbing. I scan the bottles, looking for anything that might put a few bills in my pocket. Among all the smashed glass and rot gut, I spot a hidden panel knocked ajar in the scuffle. Inside, there's a bottle of expensive champagne Mr. Blanc probably kept squirreled away to woo the high rollers. I pocket it before moving on. Mr. Blanc's booth hasn't escaped the carnage either. I look across its burst upholstery, the smashed table.
Will you look at that? Dents here, along the wall. Someone was trying to bust through.
Let me have a look. I wrap my knuckles along the wall until I find a spot that doesn't sound right. I run my fingertips around the paneling. I find a recess concealed by shadows. The key slides home through a thin layer of plaster. The wall slides back, silent and well-oiled. A passageway opens into the depths. We've found the hidden office. Sneaky bastard.
Seems to me like his paranoia was justified. Ladies first, I insist.
As we enter, I flip a switch on the inside of the hallway. The wall behind us closes as the room lights up. It's quiet in here. Blanc must have had it soundproofed. We're safe in here. For now. Something in this room is worth killing and dying for. Knowing that makes this more like a personal mausoleum than a study. This is clearly where Blanc spent most of his time, among the memories of a secret life. Scattered papers covered in spilled ink surround a half-packed satchel containing even more papers. Looks like he wasn't expecting trouble when it showed up at his door. An expensive liquor collection filled with rare vintages. My Zio would have marveled at the bottles for a full second before making off with the entire set. The bottles are arranged by date rather than name for some reason. I know this banner. It's for a mercenary group in the uppers, the Blacktails. As nasty a crew as you'll find anywhere. They'd cut your throat for a nickel and sit down to a plate of spaghetti in the same breath. This shelf houses various fangs and paws from exotic animals. A series of scorched stones labeled Great War are also shelved here, each of them dated. There are a few empty spots. Mr. Blanc's private arsenal. The weapons here tell stories of warfare, of clandestine affairs, of time spent in Germany, the Americas, the Congo. Blanc either had connections, or his hands were soaked with blood.
If this ever gets out, there'd be a screenplay in no time.
You ready to play a man of mystery like Mr. Blanc? Could broaden your profile with the masses.
And relegate this gorgeous mug to scenes half filled with shadows? Hardly. There's a reason they call this the moneymaker, you know. You don't cover fine art with a sheet when it's on display, Gia.
You are so full of it. This shelf and the shelf behind it are crammed full of files. Each file contains information on a different New York VIP. Blanc was sitting on a cache of solid gold, or pure gelignite, depending on your view. There are enough names listed here to fill a city block. I don't have time to go through all of them. I had better stick to names I recognize, or I'll be here all night. Mr. Blanc was willing to work with Apollo, Sam, and the rest of us, so he must have checked us out thoroughly. I want to see what he knows.
Samuel Ironhand Lowe, born and raised an Aether rat. Once attempted to separate himself from his youthful origins before the Terriers put an end to his plans. Took control of the fading Undercity League. Deft negotiation work found success in multiple baronies. Close, but secretive association with Apollo Diamond. Potential value. Master negotiator. Engenders trust. Exacting nature with an eye for detail. Exploitable weakness. Overly sentimental. Will do anything for the rats. Alcoholic. Apollo Diamond. Born Moish Zachariah Diamond to a tailor and a library assistant in the Lowers. Maintains a public persona as an affluent and charming man about town, film star, and philanthropist. A carefully constructed front, built after years of struggle in local theater and print advertisement. It was Moish's agent who suggested burying his Jewish origins and taking his working name. After his big break starring in the successful war serial About Face, Diamond took advantage of his newfound fame to expand his repertoire. During his rise, began a second career as an urban resistance fighter. Potential value. Communique smuggling to other islands. Access to information on resistance cells. Exploitable weakness. Bravado. Diamond can be goaded into rash action if he feels it is in character.
Usually I enjoy reading my own press, but that sure ended on a depressing note. I think I've heard enough from Mr. Blanc for now.
Mr. Blanc's file on Nellie is slim, although it doesn't take long to find out why.
Scientific prodigy. Fast-tracked into the Helicline Institute at 16. Most probably by members of the Trust. Connected to the Trust's development of Red Aether. Trusted Fellow by 19. Honorary doctorate from NYU. Reinhardt has reached out to me about a clandestine job of some sort. I must remember to update my file on her once I learn more.
It appears there was more here, but it's been removed, and a bookmark placed here. Interesting.
Cress Carter, expert mechanic. Free home of origin unclear. Lost an arm while saving an engineer during a disaster in her youth. Parents took on her contract debt, allowing her to leave. Known associate of both Samuel Ironhand Lowe and Apollo Diamond. Has been seen of late in the company of Gia H-Shot Randazzo, gifted mechanic with limited capabilities in clandestine operations. Potential value: illegal vehicle customizations, superficial interactions with Aether rats. Exploitable weakness: guilt at having survived and being a burden on her parents. Right-hand woman to Magdalene Weiss and former leader of the Dreamland Does. Currently acting as Dreamland liaison to the Underground. Very much Marm's creature up until her defection. Psychologically fascinating. Sulzer believes that she is independent and strong, and cannot see that Weiss has molded her into her own image. Sulzer's rise through the ranks accelerated after foiling an attempt on Weiss's life. Despite rumbling that she was in on the assassination attempt, Sulzer's stock only rose in Weiss's eyes. It remains to be seen if Sulzer will actually make any waves under her own power. Many, including her former Doe sisters, are waiting to see if she is truly capable on her own. Potential value: information on Does, leverage against Killmeyer, access to Weiss's remaining Dreamland assets. Exploitable weakness: vanity. Can be controlled by questioning the validity of her reputation.
Giovanna, darling. I seem to have caught a chill. Let me borrow that file. I want to start a nice warm fire.
Luca Mazzi, leader of Dreamland's Legion, is a man who has never realized his capabilities. Stuck in a loop of guilt and shame over the death of his brother Marco, he holds a powerful urge to self-flagellate. Often gets in his own way, simple-mindedly prioritizing the general welfare of his people over any agenda that might affect meaningful change. Believes he is upholding his brother's legacy. Ironically, though loath to put his people at risk, seems to favor the block-with-your-face style of street fighting in the boxing ring. Can weather a great deal of physical punishment. Potential value: support against Dreamland Does, transportation of bulk goods, information on shipping schedules. Exploitable weakness: caretaker. A threat to the Legion, real or invented, can tie him up indefinitely.
I know it's wrong to speak ill of the dead, but I wish the guy was right here so I could loosen a few teeth for him.
Seized by my desire to see Mr. Blanc's true opinion of me, I decide to search out my own name. I'm surprised to see that my file is part of a larger folder, including files on my Zio and needles.
Giovanna Randazzo, infamously known as H-Shot Randazzo. An interesting study. Despite a semi-larcenous choice of career, she displays a curious flexibility of mind. Seems to approach every challenge with a fresh set of solutions, alternately opting between using force, wits, or trusting to her skills. May prove to be a viable partner as I contemplate retirement. Conduct embraces a wide spectrum. Murdered John Valentine in cold blood after the death of her uncle, but also regularly gives succor to the marginalized and performs other selfless acts. Recent endeavors include her role in bringing down Elijah Tellingast and masterminding the Pandemonium heist alongside a loose confederation of newly made associates. Potential value: possible partnership in future after I am satisfied of her mettle. Once she finally comes to terms with the loss of her uncle, will become either a danger or an inestimable resource. Exploitable weakness: shaky morality. Has selected a life of apathy against her own better instincts following the shock of her uncle's death. Vulnerable to manipulations toward egotism or altruism.
I ball my fists and lean against the shelf, taking care to breathe deeply for nearly a full minute. I can't tell if Mr. Blanc's profile on me is groundless speculation or not. I wait for my hands to stop shaking. It takes a while. The file on my Uncle Alfonso is older than the others. The paper's slightly yellowed. Still, my curiosity gets the better of me.
I first dealt with Alfonso Randazzo following my return to the city in the turbulent days following the disaster. The lockdowns around the city provided ample opportunities for an experienced smuggler. Despite his death at the hands of the ham-handed John Valentine, his lessons regarding professionalism and honor were taken to heart by his niece, Giovanna, so his life was not spent in vain.
There's one final page in the file outlining my Zio's strengths and weaknesses. It has presumably been kept there for the purposes of thoroughness. It's older and more faded than the rest of the file.
Potential value. Established smuggling channels throughout the city, made dependable by an unimpeachable code of honor, forgotten by many in the current day. Exploitable weakness. Honor. Randazzo matured during a period when honor still existed among thieves. In this era of power-mad barons and ruthless sycophants, he cannot hope to exist for long.
I can hardly swallow past the lump in my throat. I knew my uncle was too honorable for this world, but for someone else to see it so clearly, to confirm that idea, opens up that wound just a little bit.
Peter Portnoy, born Piotr Portnoy, known on the street as Needles, a small-time smuggler working out of White Street's Raymond district. Ex-partner, romantic, possibly, of Gia H. Randazzo, textile specialist. Portnoy was involved in the caper that claimed the life of Alfonso Randazzo, incurring lasting injuries from the job along the way. This job provided the friction point that ended his partnership with Gia Randazzo.
Even after all this time, it stings.
In recent days, Portnoy has been smuggling in and out of White Street, before and after the advent of the Civil War. Made a great score in the Hogmanay Hall job. See file. Usefulness. Specific jobs involving textile manufacture or fashion. Exploitable weakness. Gia Randazzo. The man fosters both love and hate for his ex-partner. Using her against him would provide leverage.
Maybe he hates me, but at least he's still alive.
Eli Tillinghast, a man of conviction and tragedy. His reputation as a bloodthirsty warrior is unimpeachable. His destruction of the Ferdinand Mill spelled doom for the boroughs. Decline came quickly after the Water Waste War. Tillinghast choked on the administration of his own hard-won spoils. A maddening end for a man of action, leading him to his own dependence and death by Red Aether. Following Tillinghast's demise at the hands of Gia Randazzo, White Street is embroiled in internecine conflict. With Lutzko and other loyalists still remaining, it appears the old guard is on top. For now.
Unlike the rest of the file, I also see a hastily handwritten note on scratch paper attached. An afterthought?
E.T. contacted by OP after Santa Anita bombing. Red A appeared in E.T.'s hands soon after. No coincidence. Magdalene Weiss, aka Marm, is a name synonymous with Dreamland. It would actually be far quicker to name the criminal enterprises she did not have a hand in than the reverse. Growing her own gang, the Does, into an unstoppable force, Weiss has since gone on to rule Dreamland with an iron fist. Yet, in her dotage, Weiss grew obsessed with control, causing unease in her ranks. A recent plot headed by Gia Randazzo and associates, in conjunction with Sophie Sulzer and the Does, ousted Weiss from her Dreamland throne. Sulzer and the Does have neatly cut Weiss off from her resources, allowing her to remain in Dreamland as a puppet figure. Weiss is finished. The Does are the real power, at least for now.
A hastily written note on the back of a torn-out ledger sheet sticks out. It's cryptic, but I think I get the gist of it.
MW contacted by OP shortly after Pandemonium Blaze. Red Aether appeared soon thereafter. A pattern is emerging. Millard Meeks, aka the Glass Baron of Astoria Bay, knows better than to interfere with my operations here or elsewhere. The deal we have worked out benefits us both, and he is just intelligent enough to honor our pact of mutual ignorance. I have observed the letter of our agreement and hidden away my material outlining his child's parentage, as well as the source of the glass fortune. In the event of my death or forced exile resulting from his defaulting on our contract, the material is concealed within the oversized painting of the Baron in the Great Hall of the Glass Mansion, within the frame itself. When viewed under black light, the text etched in silver chloride ink reveals a series of account numbers to offshore banks. Any competent forensic accountant will find his holdings to be less than legitimate. Beatrix Wilcox, the so-called Baroness of the Black Tails. My own personal history with this woman, this savior, avenger, and monster, is painful to recount. Yet recount it I must. Information is information.
The rest of the entry has been recorded in a cipher, and I can't find a code key anywhere. It looks as though Mr. Blanc has hidden Wilcox's secrets from everyone except himself. This shelf is identical to the others, save for a single book sticking out almost 1.5 inches from the others. It bothers me. I don't believe the fastidious Mr. Blanc would leave such an imperfection in his lair. Instinctively, I start pulling books out of the shelf, letting them spill to the ground higgledy-piggledy. Recessed into the back of the shelf, I find a hidden safe. The safe has a combination lock with a backup keyhole. It looks much like Mr. Blanc himself, implacable in its flawlessness. It's a tough old bastard. I look around and seize upon his wall of weapons. A minute later, I have a needle-sharp poniard in hand. I couldn't ask for a better makeshift lockpick. With a slow exhalation and a crack of the knuckles, I set to work. It isn't easy, but I finagle the tumblers into place one at a time until the safe pops open with the faintest hiss. I did it. With slightly shaking fingers, I pry open the lid of the safe like a pirate's treasure. Only instead of rubies or doubloons, this safe is stuffed with files. Mr. Blanc's most secret stash. Got it.
Great. Pass it over. Let's get to work.
I pull out the stack of files with both hands and fan them out over the desk. What we're holding here is pure dynamite.
There's got to be a file in here about Red Aether. That stuff keeps popping up. I bet Blanc knew something.
I'm cycling through file folders when my eyes are drawn to a file labeled Tobias Dufresne. Finally, some answers.
Tobias Dufresne, the Hanged Man. Beatrix Wilcox's old hunting dog. I never had to go up against him, thankfully. Retirement didn't agree with this former blacktail, and he made it known in no uncertain terms. Dufresne's history is one that remains hidden. Every informant, every spy I sent to ferret out his secrets met a bloody end. After the 5th such attempt, Dufresne himself was waiting for me, in my private booth. Dufresne poured me a tumbler of whiskey, and recounted for me the details of what has come to be known as the Night of the Underline Revenant. It was more confession than conversation. I dare not recount the details of his rampage, but the broad strokes. After being asked to perform a job that went against his code, he was hung by his neck from the tow line of an island and left for dead. 3 days later, he boarded a ferry off the island, carrying a sack filled with the tongues of every underboss who voted for his sentence of death. The Baron himself was left hanging from that same tow line. I suspect that the Trust aided Dufresne in his quest of vengeance to acquire his allegiance. He never revealed why he sought me out, but I read between the lines. He was warning me to stay out of his affairs.
I paused to reflect. I don't know whether or not I would have taken the Trust's aid and pledged to them if they had helped me with my own revenge after Valentine's murder. If it weren't for my friends, I might have. A few more folders in, I spy Nellie's name, as well as the name Olympus Park. Maybe the gaps in Nellie's file can be filled in here?
Receiving a hand-delivered note from anyone in the Heights is unusual enough. But to receive a note from Reinhardt, a rising star in Olympus Park, was quite shocking. Even I have few contacts within the Heights. In the note, Reinhardt mentioned to me that her life was in danger, and she believed the bombing of Olympus Park was specifically done to halt her research. I immediately started my own investigation. While I have few agents in the Heights, the Trust has them everywhere. I was able to get the information I needed through some unusual methods. It was from these arrangements that I was able to acquire a rubbing of a special seal. I believe it to be the secret seal of the Trust. It must not be shown to anyone, as its value as an identifier is irreplaceable.
I look over the carbon copy, paying attention to the indicated seal. I know I've seen it before somewhere, but I can't place when or where. I stare at it until it's burned into my memory. If Mr. Blanc says to keep it secret, it's likely a secret worth killing over. My hackles raise. For all I know, he was shot over this rubbing. I quickly hide the file from the others. After my examination of the top and bottom 2/3 of the pile, I settle down to flip through the middle portion. I go through one by one before I finally find the record I'm after. The dissemination of red Aether.
The red Aether events in White Street and Dreamland were far too close together for me to consider them accidental leaks. My informants across the baronies, once told what to look for, produced proof of more. Every barony bribed with red Aether held the following traits in common. They were all located in the lowers, and every one was granted red Aether following an action that destabilized the lowers. Further analysis revealed that the relationship between the Trust and the lowers barons goes back decades, to the founding of each barony. The Trust has been king-making for decades.
A chill runs down my spine. I'm way in over my head here. Every lowers baron who has emerged as an unassailable iron fist has done so for this shadow cabal? The strings pulled here are so far above me that I can't even see them. How does a group have this much control over the barons? How many Elis and Marms have the Trust created? I've got what we're after. The evidence we need. The Trust supplied White Street, Dreamland, and others with red Aether. Maybe Nellie can help us make sense of this.
This is just what we were after. Let me have a look.
I square up the pile and shove it over to Apollo, who starts leafing through it after reading the summary. A few pages in, his eyes cloud over. I recognize that pensive look. Apollo?
It all sounded so simple at the start. But it never ends. For every wrong we right, for every tyrant we stop, another takes their place. Where does it end? How many enemies are there?
Apollo, taking down the people who caused the suffering has always been only half the fight. I know it's not always as fun as punching out a crooked guard or burning down a weapons depot, but when we take the machine down, we have to build something in its place.
Inspiring others, you say? Just the job for a movie star, isn't it?
He beams like he's posing for a publicity still. I snort, trying not to laugh. Proud, brave fool. He makes you want to believe in him. Hope. That's what Apollo brings to the table. Apollo snorts and sports a nasty grin, softening to a wry chuckle after a few moments. I blush a little at his throaty laugh. I feel like one of his leading ladies, just for a few seconds. It's enough.
Oh, I've heard this before. You've been talking to Sam too damn much. But it feels different hearing it from you. Maybe you're right after all. All right. We've got what we're after. Let's grab what we can and move out. We'll have plenty to talk about when we get back to headquarters.
We've accomplished what we set out to do. Time to get back to the hole. We arrive back at the lighthouse just before sunrise. My adrenaline and nerve have both bottomed out completely. I find a bunk to crash in and sleep for almost 14 hours. We all meet up later that evening to discuss our findings. Getting everyone up to speed on the information Mr. Blanc provided us proves no easy task. The Trust, Dufresne, the red Aether, everything.
Poor Mr. Blanc. He was so very gallant. Even knowing assassins were after him, he stayed to the end to finish his work. To help us.
Perhaps your bravery in fleeing the Trust inspired him to act bravely as well.
Nellie, here is the file Mr. Blanc had on red Aether. This is what we were after. Why don't you take a good look at it and let us know what you find? I hand Nellie the file. Gradually, the lines of sorrow fade from her unlined face as she becomes embroiled in the work. Her analytical mind giving context to the raw information we couldn't absorb. Just as quickly, her pensive face turns to one of shock and alarm. She slams the file down on the table. She moves with such sharp shock that Apollo and I grab for our guns instinctively.
This is monstrous. Unbelievable. Gia, this is why the well has been growing. It's worse than we ever could have imagined.
Nellie, focus. What is it you're trying to say? What's happening?
It's the spread and concentration of the energy, to be exact. Aether affects the atmosphere, you see. Usually, proper refinement removes the harmful effects, by and large. If it didn't, the city would have been torn out of the sky years ago. Even General Eli's weapon, on its own, should barely have an impact. But with multiple baronies using red Aether, the effects are multiplied exponentially. The energies are tearing the well open day by day. It's like throwing gasoline over a fire.
Okay, slow down, Nellie. Breathe. So, if the lower baronies are using red Aether and this is causing the well to worsen, how do we fix it?
Short of everyone agreeing to stop using red Aether, I suppose. If we were to refine red Aether into harmonic Aether, that would do it.
Take a new weapon of power away from the barons? Seems unlikely. Maybe we could go the harmonic Aether route given enough time, but that's something only you can do right now, correct?
Right, but we still have Daisy primed to fix the well. At the very least, that should buy us time to work out a more permanent solution.
If red Aether is so dangerous, why spread it? If the Trust has a good thing going influencing the lowers, why are they intentionally feeding the well?
That's what's so alarming. It makes no sense at all. I can't make heads or tails of why someone would do such a thing so deliberately. Why be so reckless? Are they trying to destroy the lowers?
Something is nagging at my memory. I tune Nellie out as I search for a scrap of information. Something I heard or saw earlier in the evening. I tune Nellie out as I search for... I suddenly remember something Mr. Blanc said to us in the alley before the attack. Something about the Trust and their moves against Nellie.
This organization knows just how to push the Barons. They've been battling over the Trust's scraps for decades. Why would they stop now?
Maybe they are. Maybe they want the Barons to destroy each other.
But why?
All those people.
I don't know. We're still missing something. But some of it feels right. They want the lowers too focused on one another to stop whatever's coming.
Whatever the case, if there are more baronies with red Aether than we thought, we're running out of time.
Okay then. How much time do we need to buy you before the device is ready to roll out?
Oh, the device is ready. The issue is one of proximity. In order to fix as much of the well as possible, to really complete the job, we need to move closer. In actual fact...
Nellie pauses as she rolls her eyes skyward, mumbling math under her breath.
Yes. For best results, we will have to travel within the well itself. Extremely dangerous, yes, but also necessary.
A sudden flash from the window blinds us all with white light. I pull my gun, but the spots in my eyes keep me from finding a target.
Uh-oh.
By the time I'm seeing anything but spots, whoever was at the window is long gone. I strain my ears and hear rapid footsteps fading away into the distance.
Get them!
Apollo is the first out the door. My feet pound asphalt in an all-out sprint when I run headlong into Cress.
Whoa, 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 where's the fire? I just saw Apollo taking off like a bat out of hell. Mind telling me what's going on?
No time, Cress. Someone spied on the meeting. Some guy with a camera. Gotta stop him.
Go then. I'll let the others know.
I dash off, but I can hear Cress call out to me before I'm out of earshot.
There are only so many places he can go, Gia. We'll get him.
I'm afraid our spy hasn't shown his face here, darling.
As I approach the ferry, I recognize Mr. Throg. In his grip is my quarry, held by the scruff of the neck. The kid has a camera on a strap and a notepad sticking out of his pocket.
Hey, hands off, Charlie!
Nobody on the ferry that I don't recognize. Rules.
Aw, come on, Chief. I need to lay low. I've got some toughies after me.
Who do we have here?
Stowaway.
Hey, I got a name. It's Benny. Benny Castellano. My friends call me Big Mouth.
Big Mouth, huh? Should I have heard of you?
Maybe you read my byline. I'm a reporter for the Midtown Crier, and you got no right to keep out the press.
It's just a kid, maybe 110 soaking wet. And I bet my back teeth not more than 15 years old. If he has pictures, though, we might be sunk. How should I play this? Relax, kid. You're not in dreamland. You won't get hung from the underline or thrown over the side just for taking a picture or two. Let's talk.
Is that so? We got a witness here. You swear?
Promise. I threw my back out heaving a kid over the side yesterday.
You're kidding, right? She's kidding, right?
Benny finally calms down enough to get a sentence out. The kid's got moxie, I'll give him that.
Okay, so I'm a reporter, see? I got a lead on a potential scoop, and I heard some folks talking about the lighthouse. Sounds like a story to me. So I stake out the joint. So you and your buddies show up and start a long talk. Red Aether, the well, hot dog, I think. Headline story, here I come. I take the shot, but I forgot about the flash. Rookie mistake.
Damn it. The kid knows way too much to just let him go. I don't want the underground to deal with this squirt the way they wanted with the Coney Island leak. I need to get him out of here. All right, Benny. I'm going to give you a chance to talk your way out of this. If you come with me, you might even get a story out of it.
Sure. I got nothing to hide.
Benny sits under the lights, fearless with the energy of youth. I envy him that. Sam, Apollo, Nellie, Cress, and I take turns interrogating the kid.
So I hear talk about a secret underground running around making trouble for some barons. They show up, and when they make noise, barons go poof. I figure there's a story in it. I start trailing their activities and end up here. I ask around, hear a few stories about unusual traffic to the lighthouse. Lots of people coming in and out all hours, so I stake it out.
How long have you been watching us, Benny?
Not long. A couple meetings now. I heard something about Mom Weiss, something about Red Aether, secret society stuff. Hey, are you the real Apollo Diamond? Can I get a photo? Tabloids will pay big for a candid shot.
Kid, forget the shot. If you want to leave this room alive, you keep your trap shut, but good, or we shut it for you. Permanently.
Aw, don't climb up your own leg over it, Pops. Besides, I already got a line on a better scoop. Hey, watch it!
While Benny is spouting off, Cress upends his bag on the table, its contents clattering and scattering to all corners. Nellie and Cress go over every item. There's also a half-open pack of cigars, but no lighter, and a sawed-off baseball bat, the kind taxi drivers keep up their sleeves. How about you, Nellie? Anything interesting? Nellie is peering closely at a photograph, barely developed. Her perfect nails dig into the paper, tearing at the fibers.
Hey, watch it with those!
Look at this! Do you have any idea what this is?
Nellie passes me the photograph. I scrutinize it carefully. I'm no scientist, but I've read the odd article here and there and wandered around Nellie's lab more than once. I think I recognize the device in the picture. Nellie, this looks kind of like that thing you're building in the lab. Some kind of amplifier?
Exactly! It's just what we need! This is an Aether amplifier. Powerful one, too, from the looks of it. It could amplify Daisy's range and power so we can fix the well without needing to go inside it. Excuse me, Benjamin, was it? Where did you see this device?
That thing? I saw it in Nation's Crusade. It was locked away in one of their missions, at the base of a tower. I snuck in after hours and I snapped some photos. Don't know what it is, but it looked important. And it's Benito, though.
Well, it's simple then, isn't it? We go to Nation's Crusade, explain the situation, and convince the Baron to let us use their amplifier.
The room goes silent, except for the rumble of the island's lifters and the rhythmic spinning of the fan over the table.
What? What am I missing?
Nellie, dear child, what you describe as our ideal solution, yes. But the Baron of Nation's Crusade? She is not always reasonable. She...
No point in dressing it up. Annie Sullivan Walker believes she's been appointed by God to raise Nation's crusade to prominence. She can't be reasoned with. We've tried.
They're not wrong. Annie has a way about her. She speaks directly to her people's hearts. They love her for it. They'll do anything for her. She's also the only one with a long-surviving barony out by the well.
What Cress isn't saying is that she's a few lines short of a screenplay. Cress, I know you've been close to them in the past, but these days, Annie's people are fanatical.
I heard about Annie's takeover of Nation's Crusade a few years back. She's got a reputation as touched, either by God or by madness. Would she be open to negotiation?
Doubtful, but she might be willing. Her mission is committed to helping the needy. She even sends her devotees to provide relief aid to other baronies, though they use that as an excuse to recruit more to their cause.
Those missions are used to spread Annie's propaganda and lure people into her cult, darling. She's worse than a talent agent. Annie's doing her best to raise a massive flock by hook or crook, all in the name of being neighborly, of course.
Cress, I didn't know you spent time in Nation's Crusade. What's the story there?
It was after I left my free home. I wasn't sure where to go or what to do. Nation's Crusade, for all their faults, have always been kind to Aetherians looking to start over. Sam set me up with them when things went bad.
The least I could do, Chris. You deserved it.
No, Sam, don't blow it off. The least you could have done was nothing, and plenty of people offer that. Same with Nation's Crusade. They got me working a garage, fixed me up with my arm. From what I've heard, though, Nation's Crusade is a whole different animal now. They may be taken by force when they can't convert. I hear Annie is different now, too.
Okay, let's say we head to Nation's Crusade to lay hands on this amplifier. Are we sure it will work with Daisy?
You have a point. I'll need to examine the amplifier in person to make sure it's compatible. And if Benjamin could sneak in, I'm sure we can.
Ha! Don't sell me that cheap, sweetheart. I had to tap some contacts and went through 3 cartons of smokes to get in that far. Also, the Bucketheads have built a bunch of new missions. It's a whole new ballgame.
The kid's right. Annie's been expanding in a big way from what I've heard.
But you know which mission is the right one, don't you, Benny?
Yeah. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I do. And I'll even show it to you. For a price.
Kid, use your head. You're going to need backup to get back in there. There's been a breach. The place will be lousy with guards now.
That just means I'll give him the old 1-2. Bada bing! Quick as a rabbit. That's me.
I think you mean caged like a rabbit, kid. We don't even have any guns out and you're stuck here. What do you think the Bucketheads will do to you?
Yeah. Okay. I see your point, old man. I'll play along. For now. Say, that gives me an idea. I was hanging on to this little number just in case. Maybe you can find a use for it. Ma'am?
Old man?
We accept, Benito, but we have conditions. First, keep your mouth shut about the underground. Second, G is in charge. Don't question her, just do what she says. Third, you may as well get comfortable. You, Apollo, and I are gonna have a long talk about what we can do for one another. Put the camera away.
Aw, nuts.
Holding up all right? All right.
Make it snappy, would you? Till next.
Gia?
We really pulled it off. The heist, outplaying Marm, almost doesn't feel real.
Wish we'd taken her castle out, too. Those vultures will have that gaudy eyesore fixed up before people realize it was this close to being torched again.
The distraction still worked, Cress. You got the fire going. We wouldn't have had a chance of getting out without you.
Yeah? Suppose you're right. Be careful out there.
Hello again.
I heard Dreamland's had its share of skirmishes with Nation's Crusade in the past. What's your take on them?
Oh, darling. We could spend an evening on it, and it would barely scratch the surface.
Humor me.
Well, if you insist. They are moralizing, teetotaling dullards. And the missionaries are always so tedious to deal with.
That bad, huh? I'll bet if I asked a Nation's Crusader, they'd give a similar assessment about you folk.
I have no doubt. After all, Dreamland is built on vice. Everything your heart desires is available to buy or sell, and moral judgment is so tacky. Needless to say, they detest us. Ah.
Need something?
From what I've heard, Dreamland and Nation's Crusade aren't usually friendly neighbors.
You've got that right. Rivalry's been going on ever since they set up a mission on our doorstep.
Doesn't sound like you got much rancor for them, though. Lucas shrugs, a giant unbothered by a passing fly.
They look after people, not just the ones with the deepest pockets. I respect them for that. Doesn't mean I'm ready to pack my bag. Dreamland's got its share of problems. Trading them for someone else's won't make me happier. And unlike Nation's Crusade, Dreamland doesn't judge a man for having a night out.
Without Marm in the picture, I imagine things back home are looking different.
The Does aren't the only one rebuilding their lives. The community caught the brunt of her expansions. Now, they've got breathing room to recover. We're racking up over time to fix what she did.
And Diane?
We talked things over before I left. I floated leaving town, seeing the rest of the Lowers. She told me she'd start tying up loose ends so we could leave on a fresh slate. Diane's given up a lot for me to hang around feeling sorry for myself. When we're done here, I'd like to make it up to her.
You and Diane. You two have been together a while, right? Tell me a bit about it. He grunts, but he doesn't tell me to drop it.
First time we met was at a party. I was a tongue-tied shrimp. She was a knockout.
Love at first sight?
Nah, I'd just chased off her scumbag ex. He got some hits in, so I was feeling lightheaded at the time, but she made it feel worth it.
Lucas smiles. It might not have been love at first sight, but it had been the initial spark in the engine.
Diane's been there for a lot. My boxing career, me and Marco, and what I did after. We got into fights about it, you know?
Really? Looking at you two interact, it's hard to believe.
No relationship's perfect. She stood by me, but it didn't mean she didn't sometimes resent me. I did my time, then chose to throw myself into doing what Marco would have done. I don't think she minded sticking around the hall, but I picked my brother's dream over making one for us. That's gotta change.
Settling in all right, big guy?
Not my first time away from home for a job. And from the sounds of it, I won't be sitting on these mitts for long. The Well, Nation's Crusade, Trust, the Underground planning on taking the whole damn city?
Look, I didn't ask you to take on a secret society. If you're having second thoughts, it's not too late to catch the ferry back home.
Nah, you had my back at the docks. You stopped Mom. It's time I repay the favor. See ya.
Hi, Gia. Goodbye for now.
Zdravo.
You do much business in Nation's Crusade?
Anywhere there is demand, I provide supply. This woman in charge there, she has created a great deal of demand. I would be foolish not to capitalize.
Demand for what?
Come now, Giovanna. Let's not be prudish. We've both given confession before.
Can't remember the last time.
Whatever sort of pleasures you may have shamefully admitted to in the dark of that wooden booth likely have much in common with the things I provide for Nation's Crusade.
Stealing comics off a dime store shelf? Tiana's laugh is beautiful, as much for its rarity as its plush velvet tones. Every time we chat, I learn something interesting about your past. Any new tidbits to share?
Sharing goes two ways, you know. You have information I do not. And as you say, our ledger is not balanced. You owe me.
Okay then. What do you want to know?
In this work, we are careful not to leave a trail behind us. Yes? There are always traces. Signs in the dirt. Ways you can tell business has been conducted. But there is one group who never, ever leaves traces.
You mean the Trust?
What do you know of them?
Probably less than you do. Some shadowy group of ghouls pulling the city's strings, right? The shadow falls across Tiana's face, framing her sharp features in stark contrast, like a portrait whose color has been leached off the canvas.
Stories, Giovanna, have power in them. Even in myth and legend and lies, there is truth. There are forces at play in the world we dare not imagine.
Come on. You trying to scare me?
Yes. If you learn anything more, let me know. And please be careful. See you soon.
What do you need? Be careful out there.
Hello again. Until next time.
Hello, miss.
You make many trips over to Nation's Crusade?
Plenty of folk making the trip. Pilgrims, I suppose.
It's not all one way, is it? There must be people looking to leave.
What makes you say that?
The Axe is cracking down on all kinds of things. Life's hard out there. He looks at me as though I were a child, not with condescension, but with a wistful awe at the innocence of youth.
Hard everywhere, miss. That's life.
We've gotten to know one another pretty well, right?
Suppose so, miss. As those things go.
I think it's time you told me what happened. What's this big secret you're always carrying around like a sack of flour? It's weighing you down, Mr. Throg. A bolt of suspicion cuts through his clouded eyes. He looks at me hard, gauging me like I'm a troubling pink glaze on the horizon he ought to steer clear from.
Not a pretty story.
They never are. Throg's eyes narrow, and he seems to conclude it's better to tear the bandage off the wound and get it over with.
Ferry accident. Way back, mind. Before your time. My fault. Terrible. A lot of folks hurt.
That's awful.
City took my stripes. Ella May, she left. No work anymore, except down here, where people don't ask questions, usually.
I put a hand on his arm, and he flinches instinctively, like a wounded old hound. I keep my voice soft to show the old man my gratitude. For what it's worth, you're the best captain I ever sailed with.
Miss Randazzo, a word, please.
Depends. What's it about?
Nothing serious, except, well, it's about your friend, Miss Salter. I can't help but notice she seems to be in a slump.
He subtly gestures with his cane. As usual, Sophie's looking as polished as a gilded fountain, but imperfections float to the surface. A long nursed drink sits at her elbow, and one of her curls droops downward. Any idea what's got her down?
She resembles some colleagues of mine. We leave much to come to the heights. And even when you've been given a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, it doesn't make you miss your old life less.
She's homesick.
Usually I'd offer to check up on her, but I believe Miss Salter would better appreciate hearing it from someone she's closer to.
Gardner totters off, leaving me with my thoughts. Each one swirls back to the uncharacteristically quiet doe. After what went down in Dreamland, maybe Sophie could use something to cheer her up. The whole's short expensive jewelry and slices of bee sting cake, but I'm sure I can scrounge up something to her taste.
I'm getting something to cheer Sophie up. I know you two aren't too friendly, but if you got a nickel to spare...
She's loaded. You'd need something special to impress her.
It's a gift. I'd like to believe she'll appreciate the sentiment, even if it's not bottles of champagne.
All right, here. If you haven't decided what to get her, the does all drink Melita Cafe. Don't tell her I told you.
Doing a collection to get a gift for Sophie. Think you can spare a few bucks from your latest stack of residuals?
A gift, eh? What's the occasion?
Something to cheer her up. Still thinking about what to get her.
Well, Sophie's no stranger to gifts from would-be admirers. Breaks the hearts of every one of them, but she seemed rather fond of the knife she got.
I'm getting something to cheer up Sophie. Want in?
Of course! I thought she seemed less like herself. Fortunately, I see she has a good friend looking after her.
She's had a hard time. I'm just trying to help out. I haven't even decided what to get her yet.
I admit, I've never been skilled at picking gifts either. My wife encourages I stick to vouchers. It may lack a personal touch, but it also avoids giving something unwanted.
Hey, Cress. Sophie seems homesick. Got anything to help out?
If it's a group gift, sure. It won't be much, but I can pitch in. What were you thinking of getting her?
Still deciding. Any suggestions?
Posters of home. They're easy to carry, and shouldn't be hard to find for Dreamland. They fly their ads all over the lowers.
Collection in hand, I pop into Pier 6 and walk back to the root cellar with a modestly wrapped can of Melita Cafe. Sophie's eyes light up like a ray of sun on water as I place it on the counter.
What's this?
A gift. It's for you.
How sweet. And it isn't even my birthday.
Then think of it as an early birthday present. You seem like you've been a little down since we left Dreamland. I thought this might help.
Are you implying I'm homesick? Really, darling. Dreamland's only a ferry ride away.
Yeah, but you can't go home anytime soon, can you? My words strain through her facade like poison to her ear. She slowly exhales.
No, I'm afraid not. There's the business with the well, of course, but I also betrayed Marm. It'll be some time and distance before grudges fade, and I no longer have to check for bombs.
You got people who hate you for saving them, but you still miss it?
Oh, I've always been loathed. Even when I was a dirty child, cutting purses.
But they weren't planning bombs in your car or arranging shootings back then.
Fortunately, no, but I'm used to dealing with danger. I dealt with it when I was heir, and becoming Baron would have only made me a more appealing target.
So what's there to miss, exactly?
Quite simply, it's home. And no home's without its dirty laundry. For every threat, there's a light. An opportunity or a game to be played. Even if it was with my sisters.
I might never have rammed cars with my siblings for a laugh, but I recognize that sigh. A wistful longing for simpler times past. You going to open that now, or wait till your birthday?
Oh, so impatient. Has anyone ever told you to savor the anticipation?
She leaves me to wait a beat longer before she tears into it.
Melita Cafe! My, this is a surprise.
Heard it was the dough's preferred brand.
It is. I imagine we single-handedly keep them in business. And not just because of the discounts. Trust me, when you try a cup... How about I brew us a pot?
Ah, Miss Randazzo.
Hear from any of your contacts back home about the Red Aether leak?
Yes, quite recently, thanks to the information you provided. However, I'm afraid their findings are worse than we could have imagined. Our lab was not the only building affected by the attack. Fire spread, wiping out a number of records. They initially thought it was from the explosion, but given the timing, it's suspect.
Dufresne and his employers could have been aiming for two birds and one stone. Stop Nellie's research and plug the leak.
It's very possible. As troubling as it is to consider, if this organization is as old and powerful as Eleanor tells me, it's little surprise they'd go this far to remain hidden.
Know much about secret societies, Professor?
I'm afraid they wouldn't be very good secret societies if I did. The few I do are mostly in passing. The Midnight Fencing League when I was a student, the Underground, which you're a part of.
But none who match the Trust's profile.
Unfortunately. I'd advise against drawing any more attention. Whatever their motives, whether for morals or profit, it's clear they'll use whatever means necessary to deal with a problem.
The way you scientists tell it, the Heights is supposed to be the new city of a greater future. Only the best and brightest are allowed up there. What got you your invite?
Extensive testing and a bit of luck. The Heights organizers decided they didn't want to rebuild the lowers and uppers. That meant there could be no barons, and no buying your way in. When Olympus Park was looking for staff, I just happened to fit the role. Someone with passable knowledge of Aethonics, who valued merit, and who could speak on their behalf.
Must have been a pretty cushy offer. You don't sound too cut up about having to leave your old life behind.
I admit the generous salary bump and prestige helped. However, if that's all I wanted, I could have gone anywhere.
A bright passion fills Gardner's eyes, softening the air around him. It was love of science that could rival Nellie's.
Our grandfathers first ascended to the skies to find a better future. I don't think they'd see the world around us and be proud of it. But I believe that future is still out there. People like Eleanor, the Heights, Olympus Park. They're all a part of figuring out how we get there. Take care out there.